So we're going to talk about the next series in St. Louis and San Jose. Discuss.
This is, one of those stories of the year. St. Louis really, I think, has a good shot to make it to the Stanley Cup this year, and especially behind Elliott and Halak. And I just saw that Halak got the nod for Game 1. I just think with that goaltending, you can't really lose that way.
They had the best goaltending in the league. They won I forget what trophy it's called. Jennings.
The Jennings.
The William N. Jennings.
It's the least amount of goals allowed by both goaltenders.
They both won it. They each had amazing seasons. Brian Elliott came out of nowhere.
No, he did.
I know.
And
nowhere.
He bounced around for a while with Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Didn't do anything.
And then the
Blues pick him up.
Colorado Avalanche after that.
Yeah. So, I think St. Louis honestly goes to the Stanley Cup, the championship.
Really?
I think that with the goaltending that they have.
Who's scoring for them?
Who's been scoring for them all season?
No one.
Okay, then they finished second in the West.
Pietrangelo,
TJ Oshie.
Langenbrunner.
Jamie
he probably
Langenbrunner.
scored like twice.
David Perron. I mean, they've been getting it done all year.
It's impressive.
So I'd like to see them go to the Stanley Cup, and I have them going to the Stanley Cup.
Well, I also have to say I have a bias because I don't like San Jose at all.
Yeah.
Really?
Because every season they're like, oh, they're going to the Stanley Cup. They're the best team out there. And
San Jose has had such bad luck when it comes to the playoffs.
Every year.
They never make it. And, Antti Niemi started off real well this season, and then he just slowly fell down. And if he's playing like that going into the playoffs, I mean, I'll give Jumbo Joe credit. He's a good hockey player, and they have a lot of talent there.
They do.
Havlat was out almost the whole season for injury, and now he's back. But I don't think Martin Havlat's the thing that helps them get it past the St. Louis Blues.
He lit it up when he came back.
No, he did real well. But like I said, I have St. Louis going to the Stanley Cup, so I think they get by San Jose in this one.
I think that St. Louis definitely matches up over San Jose. Not trying to take anything away from the offensive power that San Jose has. It's just that St. Louis has the better goaltending. And
Much
a pretty
better.
solid defense, so.
But you had to think, Niemi's been there. He's won a Stanley Cup.
With Chicago, he won.
So that might be the game changer. They've had Nabokov. He's been good.
Halak's been there, though. That's the reason why he ended up in St. Louis. He was with Montreal. They got past the Penguins 2 years ago.
They didn't get to they got to the semifinals. Right?
Hey, but
He's been in the playoff
he has experience.
Yeah.
True.
So.
But the only reason he's starting over him, I think, is Elliott's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elliott
Right
has a upper body injury, but it's not serious that he actually could even still start in Game 1
Is he
tomorrow.
backing him up? Do you know?
They called up their AHL goaltender just for emergency sake.
Oh, okay.
But as of yesterday, when I was talking about this on Off the Bench, it was that Hitchcock was downplaying it, that it wasn't anything serious. He was still practicing and things like that.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't be worried either. I would probably have given Halak the nod anyway. I mean,
That's
I know
such a tough decision to make.
Elliott's been playing so well lately, but I think, Halak started more games. He has more wins. I mean, only by a couple. But I think, and plus he has experience. I don't know if Brian Elliott's played in the playoffs.
Brian? Well, I don't know about that.
No.
But he's been a starter.
No. He's been doing great as a starter.
Halak was only the starter for that 1 year over Carey Price, though. Honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have no problem with that. You have 7 games, if you play them all. You have 2 of the top 5 goalies in the league right now.
True.
And by the way, the scoring, David Backes and TJ Oshie both with 54 points. So
David Backes could win the Selke this year.
There you go.
There's been a lot of talk.
Yeah, overall, it's going to be another one of those interesting matchups. Like I said, I think St. Louis just has the edge over San Jose. Like I said, like you guys were saying, San Jose always says they're going to do so well.
Mm-hmm.
It was San Jose last year that the Kings took to a few games, but San Jose then won. I was looking that up.
Okay.
But, yeah, I feel bad. San Jose was really fighting towards the end to try and get that Pacific title. Sure, they were trying to not be the 7th seed to match up against St. Louis. Any team matching up against St. Louis in the first round is going to be rough. St. Louis just had a fantastic season. Blew me away. Wasn't expecting them to do that. I got to pick St. Louis in this one, too.
I'm going to say St. Louis in 5.
5?
5 games.
See, you don't want to disrespect any team by saying 4. You don't
No.
think anybody's going to get swept.
Yeah, I didn't even think.
I'm gonna go 7.
7 games?
Just because I don't know who's scoring for St. Louis. It's playoffs. San Jose has more experience, but I still think they're gonna lose.
No, it's a good point. St. Louis is a very unexperienced team right now.
They're young.
Yeah,
but
that is very true.
they're playing, maybe the best hockey in the league right now.
True.
Yeah.
So
Can't deny that.
I have St. Louis in 6 in this series. Definitely got to go with St. Louis, though.
Yeah.
On to our next series. Number 3 seed Phoenix against number 6 seed Chicago. James is smiling out there.
I'm ready for this one. I hope Jonathan Taves does come back.
Yeah, talks that he's possibly coming back for game 1 still, right?
Yeah, I heard most likely he'll be out for game 1. He should return by game 2. Him and Daniel Sedin actually had about the same status going. And I love the Chicago team, but I think Phoenix is one of the stories of the year also because
Absolutely.
every year I have no clue who's on Phoenix.
Yeah.
Radim Verbata.
Yeah, no, don't even get me started. The only Phoenix guy I can name you if any day of the year, Shane Doan.
The Wizard.
Oh, no. I'm saying who's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
True.
Before this year with Ray Whitney or last year when he got there.
Yeah,
But no, Ray Whitney's playing real well. Verbrata's playing out of his mind. Shane Doan, great leader. He's always been there.
Absolutely.
Mike Smith, that's the real story
Mike
of that
Smith
team.
is the real story. We talked about him last week in his game against Columbus. Set the NHL record for most saves in a game with 54 shots on goal.
Is that the
It was a
shutout?
shutout? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike Smith.
It was crazy.
I wrote
mean,
down
I
his
saw
stats.
that he.
I wrote down his stats just because I was like in display. He was 38, 18, and 10 with 8 shutouts.
Wow.
I was stunned. I didn't think he had. I knew he wasn't having a good season,
Yeah.
but not that good.
A lot of the NHL.com professionals have him as one of the Vezina candidates. Not winning it, but one of their
Yeah.
No, I
candidates.
would definitely
Yeah.
throw him in there now. Now I think back about the 6 weeks ago.
It's valid.
I think when we were talking, Mike Smith was nothing that came up. But honestly,
No.
they can score goals, but if you don't have a goalie to stop the other goals from going in, then
Yeah.
you're nowhere. And
So true.
Mike Smith, when they signed him, what was that last year or was it this year? When did you guys get Brizgalov? Last year?
This year.
This year.
Yeah, it was this
Well, they
year.
needed a goalie, and then they got Mike Smith, and I thought, he bounced around from Dallas and Tampa, and he was always the backup, like a guy that never worked out, but he's proved everybody wrong. So good for them, but I just like the offense of Chicago and the defense,
It's
actually.
a tough match.
It
Isn't
is. It is kind of a tough match when you look at how do you think the goaltending for Chicago is going to pan out.
Corey Crawford, he's had a pretty good season, but
Dude, he's been up and down. Him and Ray Emery have had like the same stats throughout the season.
yeah, but they've got it done obviously if they can get that 6th seed. And
Yeah, look at the team.
yeah, well, the Western Conference though, that's tough, dude.
Yeah, the Western Conference is.
It's
Yeah,
it's a good
I will
conference.
give it to them. The Western Conference is very tough. Not to mention the Central Division mirrors the Atlantic Division in the East here.
Yeah.
Very tough.
Well, right now, I would say
opponents.
Phoenix has the upper hand, of course, in goaltending.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think Chicago on offense and defense.
They have so much more talent.
They do
Yeah.
have a lot more talent on offense, and they also have the playoff experience
True.
over Phoenix.
They-
So it's
they
just,
won it.
I give Chicago the upper hand in this, but it's gonna be a tough match.
I mean, 2 years ago, Chicago was in the same position with everybody except for Marian Hossa, I think. And I think their goalie was Niemi.
Yeah.
So they've been through that and, losing or gaining Hossa. But, I mean, they still have the players that were there just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And this is a team right now without its captain, which probably isn't good right now. But they made it in. They kind of coasted in. But I think if Taves comes back, they keep playing the same way. If Patrick Kane keeps playing well, Tyler gets mad about that one. He could have easily been a flyer, but that's another story. I like Chicago, and I think I put this Chicago in 7, actually.
I mean, isn't it crazy that a 3 seed's like the underdog?
Underdog,
in
yeah.
this?
It is in both conferences.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
I think the headline on NHL said Phoenix wants to defy the odds, and I'm thinking they're the 3
Yeah, they're
seed.
the
3 Yeah.
They have the better seed.
I'm gonna go with Phoenix. Honestly,
Okay.
they've had such a good season. Goaltending has been consistent.
Yeah.
Unlike Chicago, I'm gonna go 5.
5 games,
5.
Phoenix?
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow. Now that's
Crazy.
That is a little bit crazy just because you do have the star power in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that just that little bit of star power is going to power Chicago past Phoenix.
There we go.
I can't see them getting past some of the other teams in the West and going much farther. But Chicago, like I said, they can get past Phoenix. I'm not taking anything away from Phoenix. I have it in 6, but I think I'm going to change it to 7 because I think it's going to come down to that last game. Really could go either way. Phoenix has such a solid defensive core with Mike Smith backing that up in net. It's just going to be real interesting
James,
to see.
did you know that Ray Whitney had more points than Patrick Kane?
Yes, actually, I did know that.
Ray Whitney had like 77 points. P. Kane had 66.
Yeah.
Wasn't he injured for a while, though?
Yeah, Patrick, yeah, he was.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was out for a little
But
bit.
Ray Whitney is also like 41.
Yeah. No, I have nothing against that.
Actually,
I'm just
he
saying.
might be 80. I don't know.
I'm
really.
saying-
He might be 80.
Yeah, I don't know.
As of late, Patrick Kane's been playing pretty well. And when he was out, that's when Taves went on his tear and was at the top of the board. And then he went out, and then Kane had to pick up the slack.
Kane played 82 games.
So,
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh,
no.
I thought he was injured.
I
for a
thought he
while.
was hurt,
No,
too.
he played all 82.
Oh,
No.
interesting.
Well,
Well,
anyway.
there you go.
kid's
Down-
still a hockey
down
player.
season.
He's a good hockey player.
That
yeah.
shootout goal against
Oh.
Detroit the other day was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
5-hole on Howard. That was crazy. He was almost the same goal against Backstrom where he just dangled down the ice and
It was
put
really
it top shelf.
unnecessary, like, to do all that. All
I
he had to
know,
do
I
was,
know.
like-
That's why I was
Whatever,
watching
though.
it. I was like,
he
wait,
got
this
it done.
I was like, this isn't the All-Star game, Patrick Kane.
Another
you don't
re-
have fans voting in for you
Yeah.
to be the best or anything.
he would have gotten ripped if he missed that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Him trying
Because
to
he was
battle
out there.
like that?
If he would have lost control of the puck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been
Phoenix won 3-1 games this year against
They-
Chicago in
they
the
played
season
4
matchup.
games this
Yeah.
season, and
Yeah.
Phoenix took
Phoenix
3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, my
So-
That
dad's
makes
looking a
me
little
want to
better.
rethink my choice
That's
on
why
that one.
I just
There
think
you
it's
go.
going to 7, especially if Taves comes
Like I said,
back.
yeah, I think it's going to 7, and
that's
it's
true.
going to be down to that 7th game, and ooh,
Yeah. So
that's rough.
it's
gonna be a good
exciting.
series.
These matchups are really good.
I
Yeah,
love all
I-
the matchups this year.
Yeah,